When we think about World War II, we often count the years. We mark the time from the invasion of Poland in 1939 to the final surrenders in 1945. It was a long 6 years, but there's another way to measure that time, and that's in dollars, pounds, marks. Money is a cold subject beside so much human sacrifice. It feels almost disrespectful, but the machinery of war runs on a fuel just as vital as gasoline. It runs on money. Every rifle, every bullet, every bandage had a price tag attached. Understanding that cost helps us grasp the sheer scale of a war that engulfed the world. Governments had to make hard choices, budgets that decided life at the front. Build a hospital or build a tank factory, feed millions or float new fleets. The war became a contest of production lines as much as front lines, a brutal race to build more, spend more, and last longer. In the beginning, the spending was cautious, almost hesitant. In 1939, Germany rolled into Poland, and the world held its breath. Nations were climbing out of the Great Depression, budgets thin, armies small. Spending rose slowly. Rearmament, but not yet total war. Then came 1940 and 41. The conflict transformed. The fall of France, the Battle of Britain. Caution gave way to desperation. Across the Atlantic, the United States opened a line of credit, the Lend-Lease that armed allies at scale. After December 7, 1941, America unleashed its economy. The question changed. Not how much can we afford, but how fast can we build it? By 1943 and 44, spending reached its zenith. Mountains of steel, oceans of oil, billions of dollars every month. Costs surged across new fronts: fuel, food, medicine, transport, and millions of salaries, mirroring the rising violence. When the call came, America answered with its factories, the arsenal of democracy. The United States outspent every other nation, about $341 billion 1940s dollars. An industrial base safe from bombing, rich in resources, built for mass production. 2/3 of Allied equipment, nearly 300,000 aircraft, over 86,000 tanks, and millions of small arms. Ships launched so fast a new hull hit water as the last departed. If a tank or plane was lost, another was already on the way. Lend-Lease shipped equipment, food, and fuel, over $50 billion, to Britain, the Soviets, and China. It kept Soviet armies on wheels, and Britain fed and armed at its darkest hour. The war ended the Depression, paid by higher taxes and war bonds bought by ordinary citizens, even as national debt soared. A price Americans were willing to pay to secure victory. Think of cost one piece at a time, like a ladder. M1 Garand rifle, about $30. A hand grenade, just a few dollars. Cheap per unit, but made by the tens of millions. A machine gun like the Browning M1919 might run several $100s. The infantry's core tools. Sherman M4 tank, $40,000 to $50,000. The U.S. Army's workhorse, about the price of a nice house. P-51 fighter, around $50,000. B-17 heavy bomber, about $250,000. Each shoot-down, $250,000 gone in smoke. A destroyer, about $7 million. An aircraft carrier, $80 million or more. Floating fortresses crewed by thousands. The Manhattan Project, roughly $2 billion 1940s dollars, the war's most expensive project. One carrier or thousands of tanks. One tank or rifles for a company. Every decision was a trade-off. Unit price mattered, but production volume multiplied cost into the stratosphere. Beyond ledgers and receipts, there is a cost no currency can count. More than 60 million lives, soldiers and civilians, were lost. For every fallen, several were wounded. Scars seen and unseen, shell shock, combat fatigue, PTSD. Cities reduced to rubble, libraries, museums, churches, Centuries of culture turned to dust. Millions made homeless. Rebuilding took decades. Another river of money and labor. Direct military costs are estimated around $1.5 trillion in the currency of the time, astronomical in today's dollars. The United States bore the largest bill, but all great powers armed to the teeth and went deep into debt. A $30 rifle to an $80 million carrier, scale made the difference. The ultimate lesson: wars are won on factory floors as much as battlefields, but the human price is the true cost. Remember the numbers and remember the people, so that such a bill, paid in treasure and in blood, never comes due again. Subscribe and like this video for more interesting breakdowns.